the most brutal show on Netflix was actually about love. Not the romantic kind, not the sweet, feel-good kind, but a love that's raw, fierce, the kind that gives everything, even when there is nothing left to give. Hi, I'm Jay, and welcome to Deeper into the Film, Insight and Awaken. It's only been a few weeks since Squid Game Season 3 hit Netflix, and once again, it's taken the world by storm. #1 in 93 countries, not just for a day or two, but week after week. Yes, that's amazing. That's not just hype, that's something deeper, that's impact, that's resonance, because people everywhere aren't just watching, they are feeling it. People are watching it everywhere, from Seoul to Sao Paulo, from Paris to New York. And yes, YouTube is flooded with reviews, recaps, and breakdowns. But here, we're doing something different. We're going beyond the surface to explore what Squid Game 3 is really about. I'm not simply a fan. I'm a Korean film critic who's English literature professor who spent decades exploring stories, symbols, and culture and so on. And what I see in Squid Game 3, 1 to 3, actually all series, goes far beyond the surface, I think. Don't worry, this is not some dry academic lecture at all. I'm not here to overwhelm you with abstract theories or complicated ideas. So we're going to keep things real, simple, and meaningful. But think of this more like a conversation, something you can feel and connect with. Let's explore powerful ideas in a way that actually speaks to your life. So if you're ready to look past the plot suites and action, then let's dive into something deeper. Something that just might change how you see the entire show. Most YouTube videos just recap the plot, but here we go further. In this very video, we'll begin uncovering something far more powerful. What does Gi-hun's death truly mean? What does it reveal about the space where life and death come together? And how does it echo something as deep? Stay with me, because what looks like a violent survival game might actually be a powerful reflection on what it truly means to be human, to live fully, to love deeply, and to give everything, even when there's nothing left. Because beneath all the chaos and violence, Squid Game 3 is telling a much deeper story, one about humanity, sacrifice, and the cost of love. In a world where survival often means betraying others, where life itself becomes entertainment for the ultra-rich, Gi-hun spent his days at the racetrack betting on horses, treating them as objects of entertainment. Yes, and where violence is disguised as sport, one man stands on the edge of the emotional and moral collapse and chooses love. That man is who? Gi-hun. Yes, and his choice to act from love rather fear or hatred is not flashy, not heroic in a Hollywood way. It's quiet, human, and deeply spiritual. By spiritual, I mean a sense of inner truth of awakening and a connection to something larger than ourselves. The word spiritual doesn't refer to religion or any specific belief system. Instead, it means something deeper and more universal, something that touches the soul. Yes. Or, in other words, it speaks to the soul by pulling us into that raw, painful space between life and death and asking us what truly matters. I mean, the show is not just thrilling or emotional. It connects with our deepest humanity, where ethics, love, and true meaning of life live. This is far more than clever marketing or commercial or entertainment. The story of Gi-hun shakes the minds of people in the whole world. It's about truth rising to the surface, truth that goes beyond national pride or local taste. That's the hidden pulse of Squid Game 3. And that's the part most people are missing. Because what's happening in Squid Game Season 3 is something far more profound than most viewers realize. Before he was the face of a revolution, Gi-hun was a mess. He lived with his elderly mother. He had no job. He gambled away his money. He couldn't even buy a decent gift for his daughter. He was this kind. He wasn't evil, just lost, just stuck. And what makes him powerful later on, he changed into this man. Now, Gi-hun is not some superhero, though, or saint. He's someone like us, someone ordinary who ends up doing something extraordinary. Yes, but along with the praise has come wave of criticism. Some say it's too slow. Some say the characters don't feel as fresh, and so on. Others call out plot holes or say the tone feels different. Some of these critics are fair. They come from fans who care deeply about the world of Squid Game and expect a certain standard. But something else is going on too. Much of the criticism stays on the surface, I would say. Timing, pacing, twists, and structure. And that's fine if you're just watching for thrills. But what if this season wasn't made to satisfy you only? What if it was made to disrupt you, disturb you? Yes, to shake loose not just your expectations, but your beliefs. Because beneath the mask, the violence, the betrayals, and the pile of cash, there's something quietly blooming. Standing in sharp contrast to Gi-hun in Squid Game 3 is new character, the boyfriend of the young woman who is pregnant. At first glance, he looks like a typical idler, lofter, a drifter. But he is much more than that. He is the embodiment of the ego, the part of the self that only cares about survival, image, power, and gain. Their unborn baby as tools to survive the game and claim the prize money. I mean the boyfriend of the lady. Let's pause here and think. Why is this kind of person so familiar to us? Because this is the kind of person our society often rewards. Yes, he is strategic, ruthless, goal-oriented. He knows how to get ahead, even if it means stepping over others. So many people who win by outsmarting and out-manipulating, out-maneuvering others. In many ways, he reflects the false self that our world encourages. But here's the truth that Squid Game 3 boldly shows us. He doesn't know how to love. He doesn't know how to be vulnerable. He cannot feel the meaning of sacrifice. In the end, his life is not full, it is hollow. And this is what makes Squid Game 3 so powerful. It doesn't just show us a fight between good and evil in the usual sense. It goes deeper. It shows us a struggle between two ways of living. The ego versus the soul. The ego seeks control, dominance, and survival. It protects itself at all costs. It hides from pain. The ego sees other people as tools, obstacles, or threats. The soul, on the other hand, is open. It is vulnerable. Yes, it is vulnerable. It is willing to give, to love. The soul doesn't calculate. It responds with presence and care. Gi-hun lives from the soul. The boyfriend lives from the ego. It's asking something much deeper, much more honest and challenging. Are you living with your ego or from your soul? Are you protecting your image, or are you willing to live even when it costs you everything? That's the difference between surviving and truly living. What happens when democracy is used in a world ruled by fear, scarcity, and desire? Democracy, the most trusted system of modern society, can be twisted. It becomes a way to shift responsibility. I only voted. I didn't kill anyone, so I'm moral or democratic, whatever. Or honest, but the truth is, even vote carries weight. And when people vote from desperation, not freedom, they are no longer choosing. They are reacting, they are surviving, they are manipulated. And our real world is like that. We vote, we participate, but how often are our choices shaped by fear? Yes, by economic anxiety, by media pressure, by the illusion of control. I mean, in every country, I'm not talking about a specific country here. Of course not. We all humans are of the same kind everywhere. In Squid Game, the vote doesn't lead to liberation. It leads right back to the game again, because the system was built to keep you inside it, even when you think you're choosing freedom. So you're not choosing freedom, actually. This is not just a social commentary. It is a spiritual question. Are you choosing from your soul or from your fear? It reminds us of Gi-hun's work. We're humans. Humans are. That's the real game. Our real world is like that. I mean, game and game again. Game after another. We vote, we participate. But we're living with the illusion of control, media pressure, and so on. A truth that's been growing since season 1 and finally breaks open here in season 3. That truth is the spiritual journey of Song Gi-hun. This video isn't a technical review. It's not about whether the screenplay is tight or the twists are clever. It's about something deeper, and it's about soul. It's about awakening. In season 3, we are watching a man wrestle with life itself, its cruelty, illusions, power, and pain. We are watching a man become aware, not in a heroic blockbuster kind of way, but in a quiet, vulnerable, stumbling, deeply human way. It's not about following rules or trying to be a better person. This isn't morality as a checklist of rights and wrongs and do's and don'ts. And no, what we are seeing is something deeper, something more human, more real, higher than the corporeal. Gi-hun is someone you could pass on the street without noticing, right? He's an everyday guy, flawed, struggling, and that's exactly what makes him powerful in this film. He's not wise or righteous in the way we expect protagonists usually to be. Gi-hun is not a moral symbol. He is us. He is deeply human, flawed, insecure, confused, and weak, but also capable of love, growth, and something even deeper. The players are told they have a choice, continue playing or walk away, right? And there, right in front of them, a fortune beyond imagination. A tower of cash glowing like a false god, promising freedom, pleasure, comfort. And yet, they hesitate. Why? Because the moment is no longer just about money. It's no longer about survival. It has become a mirror, a moral and spiritual test that asks each player, what do you truly value? Will you trade your soul for a number on a screen? Will you let someone else die so that you can live more comfortably? It's easy to say, of course, I would walk away, but when you're tired, scared, and the cash is within reach, the answer becomes much harder. The moment is the beating heart of the entire series.